Welcome back to part 2 of this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about how the house is progressing, what's going on, who's your favorite, who do you not like. Do you watch the live feeds at all? Do you watch only the show? Let me know what you think in the comments below. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. Can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. We're gonna get right back to it. This is part 2 of the overnight feeds with the HOH, the twist, the noms. So we're gonna get right back into it. Oh my God, I am so disappointed. I really thought that Turner would be out for blood and that he would make a strategic game move, figure out who was ahead of the Girls Alliance, go for them. No. He is listening to what everybody is saying. The common names are Brittany and Taylor. So he's leaning towards putting up Taylor and Nicole. But he doesn't know about that. He doesn't want Taylor winning the power beat and pulling herself off. He wants her to be the actual target. Daniel and Kyle come in and they talk to Turner and they pitch the whole Taylor, Nicole, Brittany, Michael thing. They're like, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Everybody's had a late night. We'll talk more tomorrow and get it all figured out. And Daniel, as he's telling Turner this last night, Turner is still very mad that Brittany and Michael lied to Pooch and told him that they had his back when they didn't. When Joseph was telling Turner last night to not make any rash decisions until he talked to Brittany, and to talk to Brittany today and find out what made her change her mind. Don't do it in an accusatory manner like you're mad at her, but try to pick her brain and find out what made her change her mind, what made her vote Pooch out, and when did she know he was going. That's the questions you need to be asking everybody tomorrow, and that's what Joseph told him. So first thing this morning, as soon as the feeds came on, Brittany is waiting outside for Turner to wake up. She's like bringing him a banana or something for breakfast. But she's literally just sitting up there eating a banana, waiting on Turner to wake up so she can be the very first one in there. She's overplaying her hand, very much so. I think that she needs to just stop and lay back because she's making herself a bigger target in everybody's eyes because she changes with whoever's in power. Whoever's in power, that's who she's riding with. And it's starting to be noticed. And if it was just Brittany, I wouldn't worry about it. But she's attached to Michael now. And I think that she's going to hurt Michael's game. She doesn't really give him much information. And when he asked when she knew Pooch was going out and why she changed her vote, she said, well, I kind of heard some rumblings after the veto competition that there was an all-girls alliance that I wasn't privy to. I wasn't in a girls alliance. So that meant that there was a girls alliance that I wasn't part of. Taylor, please. Brittany, please. Taylor is the only girl other than Nicole that had not been a part of that alliance since day one. She's burying herself. Just lie after lie after lie. And she doesn't lie well. You can see it on her face that she's lying. Which is a good trait to have on the outside world, but not in the Big Brother house. And Brittany tells Turner, well, I can tell you that I don't want to go up as a pawn. But I can understand that, I am attached to Michael, which is the veto king. And so I could understand if that was the route that you went. But I really don't want to go up on the block, so please don't do that. So she puts it in Turner's head to use Michael and Brittany as pawns. So then Turner talks to Michael separately. And he's like, well, Brittany came up with this, you know, and pitched this. And Mike was like, oh my God, what is she thinking? I really feel safe going up, especially what just happened last night. He said, you know, if I don't win that veto and I'm stuck on the block, I could very easily go home. And Turner's like, oh no, you're good, you would never go home, never go home. It's like, if I could be honest, I want Taylor out. I want y'all to win the video. I want y'all to take yourselves down so that I can put Taylor out. And Nicole's not worried about it because Nicole knows she's not going anywhere. Nicole knows that Taylor's the target and that everybody loves her and she's not going anywhere. Again, did they not just already forget what happened last night? Michael hasn't. And he's like, I really don't want to be on the block again. And I know in his mind he's thinking, I do win competitions. I do know the game. I am a threat. And if they get me on that block, they could easily turn against me and get me out. We'll see. Turner tells him he has to talk to everybody else, and then he'll let him know what the decision is before he makes it. Michael tells Turner that he can keep a secret, that if there's any part of that conversation that he doesn't want Brittany to know, to just let him know, and he has no problem not telling her. He likes Brittany, but I think he's starting to see that Brittany's bad for his game. Then Taylor and Nicole come in. And Taylor said, let me just start out with the obvious. I can't go on the block again. I can't. Third week in a row, I can't do that. I've already been on the block for 2 weeks. I need a break. Please don't do that to me. And Turner says, oh, for sure, yeah. And oh my God. Nicole is such an actress. She's laying it on thick. Because Taylor's sitting right beside her during this meeting with Turner. You know, I've been protecting Taylor from the very beginning. And when I saw that we were going to be picking pairs, I thought, why not continue to protect her in the best way possible, which is to be her partner. So that's why I partnered with her, so I can continue to protect her. Her and I have a good relationship. We're on the same page. And she just goes on and on and on and on and on. I'm dying. I'm like, that's not what you just said about her 12 hours ago. You know. So, again, it's everybody's wanting Brittany and Taylor out. Brittany and Taylor out. Brittany and Taylor out. Taylor says Brittany. Brittany says Taylor. None of these people are thinking for themselves. And so they leave, and Amir and Terrence come in. And he talks with them, and he gets the same rinse and repeat. Put Michael and Brittany up on the block as pawns. Have them win the HOH. Take themselves down. Put Taylor up. Taylor and Nicole on the block. And then vote Taylor out. The problem with this is they have no idea what chip is going to get pulled. They're not going to have a house guest choice because that wouldn't be fair. It has to be somebody at random. If it's somebody at random, any of the other 6 teams can get drawn to play. So say Taylor and Nicole get drawn to play. And Taylor wins the veto. Then you've still got Brittany and Michael on the block. And these girls are going to start looking at who's the bigger target. And Michael is by far going to be the bigger target over Brittany. That is my fear. That is my prediction if it stays the way it's going. So basically, everyone is saying the same thing about Michael and Nicole as they said about Pooch. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Everybody loves you. Nobody's going to vote you out. It's going to be Taylor. Nobody's going to vote you out. It's going to be Brittany. You're safe. Again, less than 12 hours ago, Pooch thought the same thing. And where is he at now? Probably in a hotel room. But he's not in the Big Brother house anymore. Nicole comes back in and tells Turner, this is after everybody leaves, I think Kyle and Daniel were in there. No, Monty and Joseph were in there. She comes running back in there and she's like, oh my God, I deserve an award for what I just pulled off in here a while ago with Taylor. And she says it 2 or 3 times before anybody even has a chance to respond. And Monty's like, what are you talking about? And so she tells him how she said she was protecting Taylor and this and that. And she deserves a Emmy Award for the acting that she had to do here and downstairs to convince Taylor that she's got her back. I'm not liking Nicole at all. So everybody sums up the talks, and Pooch is left to make his decision for the nominations for now. And it flips over to Jasmine. And Jasmine is still saying, oh my God, I did not eat the whole time I was HOH because I was just so nervous. My stomach was just so nervous. I didn't eat at all. I don't know how many times she said this. If you watch the live feeds, you know every time the cameras were on Jasmine, she was stuffing her face with something. And I ain't wanted to talk about food because I love food myself. But I'm not going to sit there and say I don't eat. They've got a whole compiled thing on Twitter about all of the different people that have cooked for Jasmine over her HOH reign and how she complained about every single one of them. If you've got a minute, go on Twitter and just type in Jasmine and BB Jasmine or whatever, and it'll come up. It's hilarious. But that's neither here nor there. I just thought it was funny how she is constantly complaining about how she don't eat. Every time I turn around, I don't eat. I haven't eaten in days. I haven't. Yes, you have, girl. Give it a rest. Oh, the nominees are Michael and Brittany. Let's pray that Michael can pull out another veto win, but if he does, it's going to put a bigger target on his back. But that's the nominees for this week to start out with, and then I guess the game plan is whoever wins the veto to pull them off the block and put up Nicole and Taylor and finally get Taylor out of the house. We will see what production thinks about that because they are protecting Jasmine and they are protecting Taylor at the moment. So that's all I have for you guys today. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Let's have some interaction going here. I don't want to be the only one talking. I want to know your opinion too. So until tomorrow, as always, guys, much love.